All right, here is now look. Matt tweeted out last night that it would be rather unspectacular if Ted Cruz's dad, who was a Cuban expat, a virulently anti-Castro Cuban expat, living in both Dallas and Louisiana, with, I believe, at least a history of being oppressed by Castro. It would be rather odd if, during that era, he never was exposed to anybody from the CIA. That would be rather odd because, this is what the CIA, this was one of their biggest projects at the time. And perhaps with good reason, perhaps not. That's not the issue. It would have been rather odd. So, as you know, Donald Trump, responding to a National Enquirer story, and Donald Trump has a relationship with the National Enquirer. I'm not sure that if you were sitting around with the National Enquirer guy and said, like, what can we do that would hurt Ted Cruz's campaign? I know. Let's pretend that his dad was in a photograph with Oswald. Okay. That would not be the first thing that would come up, although, these things work in strange ways. So Donald Trump pointed out that there was a picture out there where it appears that Rafael Cruz is standing with Oswald handing out anti-Castro pamphlets. Obviously not...
Pro-Castro is for fair play for Cuba.
Oh, pro-Castro.
But the idea is that Oswald, in the conspiracy theory, was that he was clandestine.
So they were pretending that they were... Okay. So... and it would be weird if Rafael Cruz was handing out pro-Castro pamphlets, wouldn't it? That would be very
wanted
strange.
to kill Kennedy because he was going to dismantle the military-industrial complex. It's the deep state.
Now,
it's true.
So here is Ted Cruz responding to Trump saying that just yesterday. And this is what's amazing. This is 12 hours less than before he drops out of the race. This is not the behavior of a guy who thinks he's going to drop out of the race. Or maybe it is because he already has a plan, like I am going to distance myself from, and that is his MO. So I don't know. But what struck me about this was the way in which he denied this. Like, now look, it's either ridiculous or it's not. And when something is so ridiculous, a person responds. I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know. But my experience as a student of human behavior, as manifested through my work as an actor, as a writer, as a director. I mean, that's what it is, right? It's like, what do you do to communicate the inner workings of a human being to other people? In my instance, I fictionalize it in the context of this job. An aspirational propagandist, right? I mean, I communicate things in such a way as to hopefully move you and convince you of certain things. So I have some bona fides in this area. This response from Cruz as to this accusation I found to be very, very odd.
Donald Trump alleges that my dad was involved in assassinating JFK. Now, let's be clear. This is nuts. This is not a reasonable position. This is just kooky. And while I'm at it, I guess I should go ahead and admit, yes, my dad killed JFK. He is secretly Elvis, and Jimmy Hoffa is buried in his backyard. Donald's source for this is the National Enquirer.
Okay, pause it. That's it. The weird part was not the nuts and kooky. It is a little bit weird. Like, let's be clear, right? Like, when you say it's nuts, it's kooky. It's pretty clear that you think it's nuts and you think it's kooky. But the part about saying where he said, he killed JFK and he's Elvis and he's Jimmy Hoffa, that was practiced. That did not come off the top. That was prepared. And here's the thing. If I've got to be careful about my denial of something, or I've got to make sure I do a good job, then I'm going to prepare for it. But if you say to me like, Sam, we think you're an alien being from another planet. I don't need to sit with my handlers and say, wait, can we work out something here? I'm just going to go out and say, yeah, right. Okay, next.
That's as ridiculous as saying that Social Security is not solvent, or that you cut spending in a recession and that will somehow stimulate economic growth. I mean, nothing could be more ludicrous or absurd.
Oh, yes, right. I come from the planet Tracton, which is 7 light years away. And I came in a propulsion system that you will yet to have. But for, what is that? Station 51.
Earthlings, there is something
Area
that is
51.
even
Area
slightly
51.
better than Sweden, and I am trying to help you have that through my podcast,
I'm sorry.
YouTube, and various voiceover ventures.
Did I say earthling? I meant peoples.
The good news is if he runs in 2020, we'll have a great a drop of him saying, "My dad killed JFK."
Hi, I'm Sam Seder, and this is an Ann Coulter doll.
You should not be immigrating here. Stay in your country and hate us.
For smart progressive talk and a little bit of this and even a little bit of that.
Mission accomplished.
Subscribe to our podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and like us on Facebook to get some of our best video clips.